Last we left off, our adventurers, with help from the Wallach state, had planned an ambush of the nation of Prospero in hopes of disabling their Warforged. The hope was to distract the nation of Prospero, who might have a lead on the group's involvement in the death of Egrith Runai. Despite a few hiccups, the group successfully set off a series of crystalline pulses that knocked out the Warforged and Iron Defender. Lost in the confusion, Panoply and Kime head to the Feldenglatt Tavern, while Turksine and Arvin made their way back to the Obsidian Hunt. Waiting for the smoke to clear, Turksine kept watch of the situation through the eyes of Gylfi. Roughly an hour after the event, Turksine witnessed a horrible scene in which the Warforged and Iron Defender reactivated, but seemed to regain some form of sentience and ended up killing the Prosperan military that were once their masters, and then fled from the city. Much later in the night, Turksine and Arvin made their way back to the market where the gruesome scene unfolded, as they finally saw Kime interacting with the Night Hollow Captain Terheld and Iron Consul Burke Fenador. Kime had proposed to the Iron Consul that him and his group would be able to solve this mystery and return the Warforged back to the nation of Prospero for a sum of 1,500 gold. The group decided to retire for the night and discuss what all happened, and how things seemed to have got out of hand. The next morning, Panoply noticed a note in her room, written in familiar calligraphy with the simple message of 2 hours north. Deciding that they should get out of town for the time being, the group headed north with some hesitancy, but eventually came across Kessa Lenkov and a few of her lackeys. Panoply remained hidden in the trees, while Kime, Turksine, and Arvin began talks with the assassin, who mentioned that she had suspected they thought the Warforged might react that way to the deactivation crystals. With this discussion between the two groups starting, this is where we begin today's session. Kessa and her group of fairly shady individuals, still looking around for the hidden Panoply, continue their discussions with the three of you that are more willing to be out in the open. She had mentioned about the unfortunate side effects of the nation of Prospero losing some of their soldiers, but it seemed that she was pretty aware that this is what would happen. She continues the conversation with you all, intrigued by what you all might be interested in doing from here, as she sort of insinuates that there might be individuals that are suspicious of your activity in the market, and even more so, further individuals might be suspicious of your your involvement with the factory and Egrith Runai. What all would you like to do?
Do they know that we may have accepted a job to go look for the Warforged that they had us sabotage?
Kessa looks at you sort of with a raised eyebrow. and gives out a very small chuckle that you aren't sure if it's contrived or legitimate. Is that so? Rescue the Warforged that you are responsible for leaving the city.
That may be true, but you wouldn't hold it against us if we were trying to earn a little bit extra gold to go after him, would you?
Oh, no, not at all, but I would say it's not in our best interests for the Warforged to return to that city. In fact, I might have a counter proposition for you, as well, it seems that we always have one.
And I presume that you wrote the note to bring us out here to make this proposition?
She looks at you blankly. I have no idea what you're talking about.
So what is this proposition? We're interested in hearing.
As I mentioned, that we were pretty sure that is the reaction that the Warforged would have to the deactivation crystals. That it would awaken something within their soul crystals that gave them a sense of their former life.
So when the crystals were set off, did you have any idea of what specifically was going to happen with them?
Not specifically, but theories that just say that the deactivation crystals are a work in progress, and that was a great live test.
I think if we're going to be doing any more work with you, there needs to be some understanding that information like that would be greatly appreciated if it was shared with us ahead of time. Be nice to know more about what we're getting into.
Would you have taken the job if you knew more?
Shouldn't that be somewhat of our decision to what jobs we would like to take?
Perhaps.
Maybe she just knows we're the best crew for the job, which is true.
And at the very minimum, there might have been a way to mitigate the loss of life.
Not only that, but it has put us in a unfortunate position of having more attention drawn to us than we would have liked. Had they have just gone silent like we were thinking that they would have gone, then it probably would not have been a big deal, but their outrage and lashing out like that has made it much more dangerous for us to be in Night Hollow, or anyone Prospero.
You hear a stick crack in the woods, possibly as Panoply shifts uncomfortably.
Kessa looks that direction. One of her lackeys kind of draws a weapon, and she looks over at him and shakes head. I would assume that is your other companion. In regards to the loss of life and the situation we may have put you in, I'd say that is part of the deal. If you don't like it, then I can withdraw my next proposition if you want, but I think that based on your actions, you might be interested in, say, 5,000 gold to
Yes.
merely discover where the Warforged are going.
Kind of just
And
nods in excitement. Yes.
when they get to where they're going, you want us to let them go?
If they are doing what we think they are doing, then yes. And to answer the next question, we think they are being called somewhere. You don't have to interact with them. If you do, I would say try not to destroy them, but they might be hostile. If they head south, back to the city of Nighthollow, then destroy them and you'll be paid 5,000 gold and we'll just figure out where they're being called to a different way.
To the group here, is there any other information that you think we should find out before we talk amongst each other and come to a decision what we want to do? I already know what Kaim wants to do.
Yes.
Yes. What will buy him the most beers?
Kessa looks at you all before you group huddle and she goes, "You are more than welcome to ask questions, but just know that knowledge is a bartering chip, so if I don't give you answers to questions that you haven't asked, don't take it as a personal insult."
Absolutely not. I don't suppose you'd be willing to share what consequences of us choosing to act other than what you had requested would be.
Well, you can always face the nation of Prospero by yourself.
Fair enough.
Let's just say the leadership of the Volek state doesn't necessarily care for doesn't care of the consequences of collateral damage and is more than willing to make sure that the bottom dwellers, as they so put it, of their contracts aren't necessarily kept in the best of light to other groups.
I don't think this Kessa really cares about what happens to us either, guys.
I'll say you all are interesting and intriguing. And if you must know, there might be another group of Warforged and an Iron Defender also heading north as, well, based on the results of your ambush, Melchidia Saren would have had an interesting time in the factory that Egreth Runai used to run.
And what information do you have as to where the Warforged are heading now? How far away are they from this location?
They are still regaining their senses. They seem confused and kind of lost. They're about a day's journey north. They seem to act like humans, taking rests when needed, but I think they are fleeing the nation of Prospero to the north.
In the woods, like, kind of been listening, catching pieces of conversation. Are Kessa and her allies, associates, grouped tightly together? Like, are they all, like, in the same vicinity as my group?
They're spaced about 15 feet apart, 15 to 20 feet apart from each other.
Do they have bedrolls and stuff in the middle of them? Any evidence of that?
Not that you can see.
I would like to stealth and survival check if possible to see if they have a camp or have left any other evidence of themselves nearby.
Okay, you can roll those.
I will leave hearing. I know where my party is. They're not going anywhere right now. Uh-oh. 14 stealth, 15 survival.
Double check. Without them actively looking for them, you still manage to sneak by. However, with your survival check, you aren't really able to see any sign of them camping out.
Fair enough.
So you said that I'm talking to Kessa. You said that the Warforged seem like they're not under the control of the Nation of Prospero. Are they acting independently, or are they under the influence of the Vololic state?
It's a complicated matter, but I believe the Nation of Prospero's control over these Warforged have been severed, and that the soul crystal that all Warforged have embedded in their chest has been awakened, so that their previous life is becoming more and more aware to them, as opposed to being a mindless soul that essentially is conditioned to the Nation of Prospero's whims. As far as the Vololic state, we have no control over them. That sounds like a fantastic idea, but I don't think that the individuals under our employment have figured that out yet.
And
Although, with your little friend in the hands of the Vololic state, maybe we can actively figure that out.
and what is the Vololic state gaining by these Warforged not making it back to Prospero?
Most of the information of where they go and exactly how they would react when their link to the Nation of Prospero is severed. On top of it's always convenient when the Nation of Prospero has their, as you folk might say, panties in a twist over something like this.
Well, this is certainly something we will discuss, take into consideration, and make a decision on. Anybody else have any other questions?
Here.
All right, well, I think as a group we can move away and talk about this.
I'm waiting for them to move away, and I want to see what Kessa and her group do.
Yeah, did you want us to start walking to the north until they or south? Yeah. We can walk out of the clearing or back away and kind of leave, and Pampley, you can scope out and see what's happening. boop, boop.
Kessa and her allies don't do a lot. They essentially watch the group leave, and it looks like they are more just waiting.
How alert do they seem? Like, all these guys.
They seem pretty alert.
Who seems like the least alert?
Make an insight check.
The guy with the clothes.
Whose mind is wandering or is like noticing a bird?
Someone's picking his nose.
God damn it.
Oh.
It would be Kime.
Fuck. Kime. He knows not to pick his nose.
How insightful. Alright, well, with Kime and Tirxian for now, I guess, until Panoply makes it back, we have a couple options. We've been offered by Prospero, what, 1,500 gold to figure out what happened to Warforged and bring them back if possible? Is that right?
1,500? That's it.
Yeah.
Cheapskates.
And bringing back these Warforged does not seem like very easy quest. Or did they say just find out where they go? I don't remember that part.
Kime offered to solve the mystery, and Burke Fenador countered with, if you bring them back, I'll give you 1,500 gold.
Oh dear.
He didn't state what condition to bring them back in, but yeah.
Right. We can assume that he probably would have liked them not destroyed, but we could claim ignorance at that point. And the counter offer from the Wallach State and Keselenko was 5,000 gold?
5,000 to
just
essentially
make sure
figure out
make it
where. Well, she's more specifically interested in where they're going.
It's interesting too, because I feel like as expert trackers, that wouldn't be too difficult for them. So, guys, are we not nervous that we're being sent into a very dangerous situation if this is somewhere that they don't even want to go? Or then again, maybe it's just grunt work and we're being used as the tools to figure this out? Like, Kime, I know you like the money, but are we worried here?
I mean, I'm always worried, but I kind of see an opportunity here for 6,500.
Ah, tell me more.
So, from what I've heard, it sounds like they just want to know where they're going. And what if we have no choice but to defend ourselves? And we just so happen to destroy these Warforged. We can take them back and give them back to the nation of Prospero. Get our money from both sides. Win-win. Everybody
Like
gets
where
what they
your
want.
mind is at. She also did mention that they were not interested in making it back to Prospero, though. Does that mean that would negate anything we might earn if we did that? I just want to make sure that in the end, we're not gaining the ill will of two separate nations.
That's what I'm most worried about. And honestly, I'm prepared to lose favor from the nation of Prospero, what little we've had already. So,
I don't know if it's so much favor as just indifference. But yeah, the question is, what would we gain if we're helping out the nation of Prospero more? They do seem more powerful and
So
assholes, though.
this is how I see it. It sounds like we already know that the Warforged can be created using the souls of other creatures that have died. If what Kessa was saying is true, that the EMP pulse essentially awoken the souls of the former beings in these Warforged, and now they're trying to escape, rather than killing them, we should probably talk to them and figure out what's going on and learn what we can. If right now we don't really have any ties to the nation of Prospero, but it seems like we may be under some scrutiny for what happened in the market. So if we can get them to think that we're bumbling idiots who, quite frankly, couldn't have pulled this off anyway, maybe it's worth considering not fulfilling their request.
Kime's
Maybe.
probably got him convinced, and Panoply will actually like approach the group. She looks
Good.
somewhat frustrated and huffy.
I mean, if we let Kime be the brains in the face with Prospero, maybe they'll just write us off, and maybe they won't think that we could have been the ones that were involved in the market, and maybe we weren't the ones who were involved.
I do like that. I think that they're already leaning that way anyway, as we jumped on this so quickly. Seems to make us a little more innocent. Penny, any favor one way or the other?
I heard something about killing Warforged, and that's like killing Simon, you realize.
Except these Warforged seem like or from what we've been told, are awakened back to their previous life and experiences.
Maybe?
I mean, I guess we kill
mean,
people sometimes.
We haven't had a lot of good luck with trying to talk with other sentient beings.
No, but these...
And they were also designed as soldiers, unlike Simon. So
But
if
they've
communication doesn't
been...
go well, just be prepared to fight.
What
Well, of
direction did the
course.
Warforged go? North?
You said they're going north trying to get out of Prospero lands. But, I mean, if they've been forced to serve and forced to fight against their will, and that's why they lashed out as soon as they regained control over themselves, maybe there's something to learn from them.
I kind of agree, and I think I agree with you in speaking with them if we get an opportunity to.
So, comes down to the short of it, it sounds like we're all wanting to do the same thing. We all want to go north. Whether we end up trying to communicate, or kill, or follow, we're still headed that way.
Do we have anything left for us in Night Hollow? What's our reason to stay?
Owl bear? I mean, a ticket for an owl bear. Like, seriously. But
Yeah,
that's
it's
not a
nice,
big deal.
Heather.
Is the guild not some inter-city guild that operates in multiple cities?
No, it seems to be just based out of Night Hollow.
I didn't
Kind
ask
of a
about
neutral-
branches.
The neutral area. I don't think we would be doing anything that would put us in danger there, other than Prospero thinking we are behind all of this.
I mean, Night Hollow isn't the only neutral town, right? But
Right.
it is nice being in the neutral town, I think, because then we haven't. We've been working with the Volok state, but the more we work with them, the less comfortable I've been with everything. First, it was going after Egrith, and we didn't want to go there just to assassinate her. At least I didn't want to go there under the impression that we were going strictly as assassins, but Kassa kind of took that option away from us.
I mean, we took that option away from us the minute we agreed to that. We had to do it if it came down to it, and she just made it easier.
And I also kind of feel like we have our just desserts coming for us, considering Simon left a little evidence that points towards us. So this would be a perfect opportunity for us to get out before they link us to everything that's happening.
We could. I don't know how fast the Warforged are going, but we could try and hide their trail a little bit. Our trail. But, I mean, God, you guys are not. You guys are easy to track.
I mean, I personally like Time's plan, to be quite honest.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Smart man. I say we head north, do a little bit of tracking, find, follow. If we come to a point where it's possible to attempt communication, we could do so. Have a bad feeling it's not going to work, but worth a try. Tyrexian.
I think Tyrexian should talk first there. I know you need to be protected, but you got on best with Simon.
Yeah, we'll find out where they go, get that information, and then go from there. Maybe the opportunity will come where we can talk with them. If not, we could always try to smuggle one back somehow. Play both sides.
I mean, Kym, what did you agree to? Are we investigating who sabotaged them? Are we just finding them? What exactly did you even agree to? We got there kind of late.
We were offered to investigate and bring back the Warforged. I thought it was a way for us to redirect the heat off of us. But it seems like we could just get out entirely and say bye tonight, Hollow, and never come back.
I mean, that seems fine with me.
All right.
And also, if somebody catches us searching for the Warforged and they think that we're responsible for anything, well, not responsible, but are suspicious of us searching for it, we have a cover that we are investigating in the name of the nation of Prospero.
Except to the nation of Prospero.
Yes.
Arvin, how
Yes, ma'am.
charming can you be?
Oh, Penny. You've seen how charming I can be. I mean, you're already falling madly in love with me, right?
No. But,
Oh, hell no.
no. But, first of all, you're shorter than me.
Ouch.
Anyway, can you get anything of theirs? Like, not... I kind of tried, but... I don't know,
anything?
like...
I think Kym would be an excellent target
No,
for
no.
Hero.
No, I mean, like... Ask for something of Kessa's.
Ask for something, a favor, a flower, a scarf,
A glove.
A kiss? Oh, a glove.
No.
That seems a little awkward.
I don't know. I was
Can
just
I have one
hopeful.
of your gloves?
A favor, maybe. Not a kiss.
Is this for tracking purposes, I presume?
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking, like, there's gonna be a trail in the woods. Maybe we'll plant some other things. Anyway, it was just a
So you
thought.
want the assassin who can kill us in the back with poison. We want to frame her?
Sure.
Bold, I like it.
I don't.
Were
She
you
doesn't
able to
care.
scout the area to find where they came?
I couldn't really find it.
Ooh.
That's why I'm asking you. It's a second resort.
I wish I would have known this. I think in the flow of conversation, it would have been a little easier. It would be a little awkward if I stopped them now.
Well, we still haven't agreed to the proposal, so there will be another chance.
Yeah, do we have any other questions we could ask? We could work it in. No, I don't know. Have to mull this one over. Either way, I think that we should accept the proposal and head to the north.
Yeah, okay. Do you think I need to be there? I mean, with you guys, yes, but do
No,
I have to talk to them?
no, you're good. We like having eyes in the sky.
Okay, I'll be out there.
Since
I
you're
just
so
like
tall,
walk
in
back in
sky.
the woods.
How's the weather up there?
Great. How's it down there? I'm gonna go now.
I'm not feeling too confident about claiming a personal item from the assassin. Anyway, Turksy and Kime, agreed? To the north? With the assassin?
Agreed, to the north.
To the north.
Is Keselenko and her lackeys still in the area?
Yep,
Alright.
they are right where you left them.
Alright. Do I see anything, around the area, on the ground? Any loose articles that anybody may have dropped or left behind?
Make a perception check. They seem like they know what they're doing. They look like they traveled light.
Keselenko, we have discussed and decided that we accept your proposal. We will head to the north, do some investigating, find out where these Warforged are going. Was there anything else that was a part of the deal?
She's twiddling a dagger in the dirt as she's sort of kneeling over and picks it up, sheaths it, looks at you all. This is good news. I would say as long as you have some sort of understanding of where these individuals went or are going, not something like north, as we clearly understand, but a more proximate area that they were last seen at after it seems that they are no longer traveling north, or if they enter through anything suspicious that doesn't seem to have an exit. That would be the information we are seeking. If it comes to the situation where you must destroy them, we ask that you gather the soul crystals that are embedded deep within the chest of each Warforged. And then that would be an alternate way to complete the arrangement.
And where and when will we find you afterwards? Please don't tell me you'll find us.
Well, if you don't want us to find you, it could be in Night Hollow, or I imagine if you go to any of the major cities not within the nation of Prospero, you can find somebody that can give us a call.
Would they be noticeable? Or do we need names of someone to contact?
I think it will be noticeable as we tend to have emissaries in most cities that aren't under the umbrella of the nation of Prospero. But if you mention Erphonia and Sabina?
The other name, Sabine. Maybe?
Sabira.
Sabira.
Sabira. Erphonia and Sabira. They'll understand that there's something important involved.
Understood. We're not quite sure if we will be heading to Night Hollow or another city, so it's good to know.
You'll find that the nation, or the Volek state, is a lot more discreet than the nation of Prospero.
Maybe some kind of item that identifies the Volak state? Discreetly, of course, amongst the community would be, you could give it to us to show so that we could find people to help us in the other towns.
As long as you don't use the activation crystal that you have at hand, as I noticed only 4 went off in the market, you should be able to find who you need to find. I wouldn't go showing that to the nation of Prospero, though.
How did you notice 4 went off? I thought they didn't have really any indication.
There's a so faint smirk that goes across her face. When you know what you're looking for, they're quite obvious.
She was in that marketplace.
How come you guys have us doing all these jobs when obviously you're more than capable of doing them yourself?
Why dirty our hands when we can pay for others to dirty theirs?
Yeah, but you're just as complicit as we are. And obviously you could do a
Yeah.
better job than us.
But I don't want to die.
That makes me feel confident.
If you die, oh well, that's 5,000 gold gone. If I die, I have to hope that somebody pays 5,000 gold for some sort of divine cleric to raise me back from the dead.
Sorry, you said that the crystal we had left over would be sign enough for someone to know who we were? I want to make sure I understood that part right.
Show it to an ambassador using discretion, and they will know that you have been employed by another member of our society.
Okay.
Will they know any of us by name?
There's a distinct possibility of that.
Well, I've had enough of this sweet talk. Are you guys ready to head to the north?
I'm out of questions, yeah.
I heard what Kessa said about us being expendable, and right before this conversation ends, I wish to cast Hunter's Mark upon her. I know it'll be somewhat obvious.
Okay. As you do that, she pauses. As she, it's pretty obvious when you're under Hunter's Mark. She looks in the forest and goes, I like that one. I like that one a lot. You know, when she sleeps at night, sometimes she snores. But I like that one.
Oh, I hope she didn't hear that.
Panoply don't care.
Kai just has his look on his face, like he's not mad or anything. He's just in shock and amazement that she actually did that.
Whee!
I'm gonna hold that the full concentration unless somebody hits me in the face. So, yeah, I will creep around. I will do my best not to be seen, and I will rejoin my party after they start heading, presumably north.
Got my fancy cloak on. Let's roll.
They all go south as you all head north.
Panfley, you want to check the area out again now that they're rolling away?
That's
Maybe
a
you
great idea.
Find a discarded item somewhere. Haim had a really good idea to grab something, but
He
unfortunately-
did actually. That was shocking. It was good, Kaim.
What I do?
You did it good. 2 times you did it good.
I did it good. Awesome.
Okay, now can I make the survival check with advantage to see if anywhere in this vicinity she left anything behind whatsoever?
Sunflower seeds.
The worst.
Yeah,
Yeah or no?
just debating on survival or investigation, but I'll let you do survival.
It's not much better anyway. Fucking sneaky ass rogues.
You look around where they were not really encamped. There are 0 signs of an encamped group. You can make out footprints. The footprints are pretty well hidden. In fact, there's only 4 sets of footprints, and you're pretty darn sure there were 5 of them. But what you do notice, and it's really not hard to find at all, is a strange little medallion, almost like a coin-sized medallion.
Are there any markings on it or something that would show who it
Don't
belonged
touch
to?
it. I poke it with a stick to look at it. No touching.
So it has on it, on one side, a face. And as you flip it over, at first glance, it's the same face, but you swear that as soon as you look at it and think that the face shifts into a different face. The one side is a face of a female, and it's really difficult to make out. You can't tell if the female is beautiful or not. And then on the other side, when you flip it, the face of this female that's... And as I say, you can't tell if the face is beautiful or not. It's more intriguing. But as you stare at the other side, intrigued and look deeper, the face is more of a blank, expressionless face of a neutral being, meaning you can't tell if the face belongs to a female or male or not. It just looks literally like a blank face.
Is this familiar to anybody in the group?
Is anybody proficient in history?
Hirxian.
Not it.
I
He's a smarty pants.
Turxian can roll history. Also roll religion. Are you proficient in religion?
I am.
Okay. Also roll religion on top of that. Okay.
Oh.
Turxian the book nerd has seen this before. In a book that he's read a long time ago and just recalls this piece of information. This is a medallion that represents the goddess Uvitsa. The story of Uvitsa is very complicated, complex, written in shadow and mystery, but the rumor is that Uvitsa is the younger sister of the god Prospero. Or, sorry, younger sister of the god Auric. And Auric is the god of light and civilization. Uvitsa is rumored to be more of the shadow, the darkness, the undercity, the secrets and whispers behind civilization.
So was this dropped by that group, left behind on purpose, unrelated?
It was fairly easy to find.
Leave it where it is. It's not related to us, and that's the important part.
But it's shiny.
Arvin.
What?
I mean, if you guys want to wait 10 minutes, I can see if it's magical or not.
Yeah.
Is 10 minutes we're gonna have to play catch up though, and 10 minutes of us losing the trail. It's up to you guys.
I mean, I can take 10 minutes to try and cover our tracks in this area while you're doing that. But you guys, and I point at Kaim and Arvin, go stand on the north side of this business.
But I could also watch Tirxian.
You can watch from the north side.
Oh, I hang my head and walk to the north.
So posse.
I'm gonna go find some dust and rocks and like fern branches and try and do a little sweepy of the area to at least confuse the issue.
I'm looking longingly back at the necklace.
Turxian sits down on the ground in front of it, calls Gilfie over, and takes a owl feather from her, thanks her, scritches her under the chin, and then pulls a pearl out and kind of waves them over the medallion while muttering to himself for 10 minutes. Casts Identify.
Once you complete your ritual of identification, it's kind of strange. The medallion itself is not necessarily magical. But with the Identify spell, you do catch that there is something more to it. That, be it infused, or maybe just through the sheer willpower of belief, that there does feel to be some sort of mini divine presence or aura on the medallion. But as I said, the medallion itself is not necessarily magical.
So does it seem more like a focus then?
Not well, possibly. a cleric who worships the god Uvitsa, or a divine being that worships the goddess Uvitsa, could potentially use this as a focus. It doesn't come across that that is the intent of this medallion, and it's definitely not designed to be a magical item, but there definitely is something about it that draws the divine presence of possibly the goddess.
But does it? Okay, so it looks like it was intentionally left behind. Does it seem like it's in an area where it was intended for us to find it?
It comes across that way.
Okay. After the 10 minutes, Turkson will look up. Well, it's not magic. Although, I don't know if. I don't think they have a hard time tracking us as is, but leaving us an item they're familiar with might make it easier for them to track us.
That's what I wanted to do to them.
So, I don't know. It looks like they meant to leave it for us, but
But why would they need any help tracking? I feel like they've known exactly where we're going this entire time.
right. I don't know. All I can say is it's not magic.
It just feels like something I should hold on to, certainly.
It feels like something we should leave, obviously, for other people to find. Because we are not associated with this goddess, and we don't
mean-
want to be. I mean, you think it's bad playing factions down here, like, don't get involved with the gods, and we'll just leave this here.
We could also stick it in the handy haversack, and I don't think objects can be tracked when they're in another dimension.
That's a good
If-
compromise.
I was just thinking that.
If you guys want to take it and we want to be, take precautions, might be the best route.
But then we'll never need to. We shouldn't take it out if you put it in there, just so that as soon as you take it out, we might get tracked.
Well, why would
So-
we take it if we can never take it out?
Because when you take it out, they'll know where we are or what we're doing, and
Well, if
that
that's your
may be
point,
a
then
bad
we
thing.
shouldn't take it at all. Which is a bad idea. I think we should take it, put it in there, and then we could take it out another time. And then I could have it.
What happens
Huh?
when we travel the world enough and you guys find all these items and you just pick up all of them? Like, that bag only holds so much.
We'll be rich. What do you think's
Yeah,
gonna
you
happen?
sell them. Like,
It's a religious symbol, you heard.
yeah, we'll sell to a church.
I think they just make more. I don't think
Hey,
they buy
gotta,
them.
They gotta do their
We could-
stupid ritual and holy water and stuff, and there's a whole process to it, right?
You're gonna try and sell a religious symbol to the church it's from?
Listen, what's the drawback of us having this? You think that they could track us because they could track
Yes.
the medallion, correct?
Well, yes.
Kasalenko's been tracking us this entire time. She knows how many crystals we've broken. She knows how to find us every time. I don't think she needs this thing's help.
What about the people who are coming after us, who are the nation of
You
Prospero?
left
I
it
would love it
help
if they
us.
found something else besides our tracks. Which
Well,
I've been
yeah,
trying to cover.
exactly. We could use this medallion. It doesn't belong to us. We could use this as a plant for Prospero to
It's
find out someone else's.
Planted already.
We could
Right
plant
here.
it on someone
Replant.
else.
But
We could
here,
turn
there's
tables. The turntables.
I've tabled.
Replant the plant.
So we're gonna plant it on one of the Warforged we're chasing?
no, but just because we don't use it now doesn't mean we can't use it later. I mean,
Like the way they do things.
leaving something here that points to Prospero or points to
The wall of state.
the Volok state. This is just a field. There's no saying when it was left here or anything. If you're wanting to leave evidence to tie them to something or hold something over them at later, there's better places and times to plant it.
This is our opportunity for something, since I couldn't get a kiss. I mean, glove.
Hey, off my girl.
Sorry.
I think she's more interested in Panoply anyway. Sorry, Kime.
That is true. Panoply, did you hear that she is around you when you sleep?
I mean, so's Kime.
He knows that you snore.
Yeah, I do snore. I'm fine with that. I've come to terms with my. I have horns, I have goat feet, I snore. Is there anything else you need to know?
You get used to it.
So it's agreed. We'll put it in the handy haversack and maybe find a use for it in the future.
And
All
we
right.
could. It seems like it was intentionally left here. We could just ask them when we see them again.
Yeah.
They give us so many straight answers. That's a great idea. I'm going to start going north now.
Erixian is very trusting, okay? It's a good quality. But I agree. Erixian, here. Put it in the bag.
Turxian, did you pick it up?
Yeah.
Turxian casts a mage hand and has the mage hand try and catch it and doesn't touch it himself.
Ooh, slick.
And then puts it in the bag of holding, or the handy haversack.
All right. I'm gonna jog to catch up to Panoply since she's already stomping away with her little hoof feet.
And off we go to the north.
Alrighty, I think that's a good time to take a little break.
Right.
So as you all make your decision on taking on this contract, you do realize that you have left two companions behind, Ben and Jerry, and that potentially having horses might be beneficial. Or you can continue north.
Oof. And it's 2 hours to get back.
Yep.
That's 6 hours lost. Am I doing the math right?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. But we'd make it up in a day with a horse, right?
I mean, if we went back, we'd have to get 2 extras to get 4.
But then we would have to rent it unless they allow us to store them in another town or return them in another town. Or do we plan on going back to
Yeah.
Night Hollow?
Shit, that is a good idea. You know what? If we decide that we can't go back for whatever reason, we'd lose them. But I mean, they are just horses.
I mean, at the very minimum, we just get Ben and Jerry. And are they able to hold 2 people?
No, those are too small a horse. But I mean, I could take turns.
And depending on how long we're gone, too. Arvin, did you give the stable money to hold on to them for us?
I presume that would be something we did not overlook. But I specifically did not know.
I didn't either.
What do you
Depending
think,
on
Voice in the Sky? Is that something we would have handled? Or are they just wandering?
I think they were in the stables.
They were in the stables. You didn't necessarily, pay for a long time, so
Okay.
it depends.
We have some
For-
goodwill with this guy.
if we're gone for a while, he might just sell them. Assume we're not coming back.
That's another thing we could do. We could just buy the extra 2 horses.
Or sell these 2 horses.
Oh, this is such a difficult decision because I love Ben and Jerry. Alright, let's go
I
back.
think before we decide to go back or not, it might be worth checking to see how hard the trail is to find and follow. Because if the trails takes us a long time to find and it's difficult to follow, we probably won't be trying to follow it from horseback anyway. Maybe it's worth finding it first. I don't know. Panoply, this is probably a question more for you.
I will check it out, and I will try to run ahead.
Okay.
Wait
give
for
me-
like an hour, but it's gonna take like a little while to run up there and check.
Well, if we're waiting an hour, that's already halfway to get back.
I know, but do we want to show our faces in town? I don't.
What? We didn't leave on bad.
No, I didn't. But I don't want my face to be there either.
Do we want to split? Penny, you continue tracking, and we go back for the horses. We bring back all horses. Ben and Jerry plus 2. I'll have one on
But
the side walking with
I
us.
don't. He'd be good at. Well, I guess we're not selling the horses.
Good idea. 3. You did it good.
So what? Who would be going back?
Well, at the very minimum, 2 of us need to go back. I was thinking 3 of us, and Penny stays to continue tracking.
Yeah, 2 and 2. Well, wait. Will we be able to find them? Ooh, can you leave Gilfie? Can Gilfie help you find us?
I think it'd be hard for us to find Panoply if she's by herself.
I would know to look for you, first of all. Like, I choose to go into the woods and be sneaky. I don't have to.
Couldn't you have Gilfy stay with Panoply and one other, and then you could just track?
I'm just gonna make the point that like you guys leave a trail, but a horse for each of us is gonna leave a really big trail, like a road straight there.
I still don't understand what's bad about us having a trail there. We said we were gonna go.
We did, but if they think we're incompetent, are they not going to send their own people?
The only alternative I could think of is we send a letter to the stables and let them have the horses for free. Because we won't be going back.
A letter, per se.
We wouldn't even need to send a letter. I think at a certain point they're just going to assume we're not coming back and take them there for themselves.
It's like your horse gets towed and goes off to the yard and eventually gets sold.
Are you guys just thinking that we're never gonna go back to Night Hollow then?
That's what you guys seem to be thinking.
No.
That's
We're
what
fine.
I was thinking, but I don't know.
I think we're fine.
Okay, then let's continue on foot.
Yeah, I would think the only reason we'd go get the horses now is if A, we never want to go back, or B, we think that this journey is going to take so long to figure out where these warforged are going that by the time we get back, the horses will have already been sold. Otherwise, we should just continue on foot.
I believe. So yeah, let's go north. On foot.
North.
Okay.
Okay, Panoply, work your magic.
I will give Arvin a dirty look and perform no theatrics at all and find
I think the dirty look was
broken
pretty
branches.
theatrical already. But I'll wink at you.
All right, so you all are heading out on foot.
Yes.
All right, well, we'll get this started with a survival check from Panoply. Okay. Interestingly enough, the tracks of the Warforge seem to be exactly, or they go exactly through this location that you had the conversation with Keselinkov. The tracks aren't necessarily difficult to find, and there are clearly 5 sets of humanoid-ish tracks, and then a set of a quadrupedal construct. Every once in a while, there's also what seems to be a splotch of a dark liquid. The tracks are definitely heading north. They are definitely heading into the mountains.
For that dark liquid, can Kaim kind of swipe it with his 2 fingers and smell it?
Yeah?
What would it smell like?
Make a survival check. It isn't necessarily a smell that you're completely familiar with, but it does smell vaguely reminiscent of like lamp oil or oil that you would use to keep a torch or light going. Not 100%, but fairly similar.
Do you guys think this is liquid coming from the Warforge or somebody else tracking them?
I'd say from them.
Well, how much do we know about, like, Simon doesn't have any liquids, right? It's just the crystal and then the robot.
I mean, I haven't stabbed him.
Tyrexian, do you have any knowledge on this?
I mean, we don't bleed unless you poke at us, right? If there's a fight, maybe they got hurt.
Tarxian, roll an intelligence check. Okay. Tarxian, after taking the book that is essentially on Warforged, the Encyclopedia Constructica, believes that if you were to injure a Warforged enough instead of bleeding blood like a humanoid, that the internal workings of a Warforged would have some sort of oily substance to make sure that it is working.
So if it is from the Warforged, were they injured on the way? Do we think?
Either that or they were injured while. From DM, from
right.
when I saw the attack happen, was it just, were the Prospero soldiers just completely annihilated, or did they put up some sort of fight?
They put up some sort of fight.
Okay.
Got it. That makes sense that they were injured then.
Yeah, it could just be left over from, when they attacked their guards.
All right. They're already mistrustful of humans. Perfect.
Well, I mean, they only attacked the soldiers that were guarding them. They didn't attack anyone else. So
Did any of you guys make fun of them at any point? Did they hear you? No? Okay. Should be good.
All right, so you... Okay, go ahead.
I think you guys should go first. This trail's very easy to follow. I'll be behind you. Just stop if you get confused, and then I will catch up with you and fix it. I'm going to trail behind a little.
Yeah, I'll walk up ahead.
All right, you begin your journey north. This definitely takes you up to the mountains, and unless you say otherwise, you'd have about a full day's journey walking, following this path. You take breaks when you need to. You've sort of been this way before. You came this way when you all first met from the secret lab of Thirbly Crolius. And you notice that the Warforged tend to move further and further into the mountain chain, closer to the natural path that goes through the Rekendorn range of the mountains. It's almost like they are following the road that goes through there. On your first day of travel, nothing particularly interesting happens. On the second day of travel, as you head deeper and deeper into the mountains, you do notice that the path goes a little bit to the east, which kind of coincides with your suspicion that they are moving toward the trail that goes through the mountains. Is there anything you all would like to do on the first or second day of travel?
Panoply will, if she has spell slots at night, will make Goodberry. And basically, I'm hanging behind far enough that I am hoping that if someone is tracking behind us, I will be aware of it before it catches the group.
Okay.
So I'm actually focused behind us more than I am ahead. Like, I'm only going to bump into the group if they get lost or are confused about the trail.
I have Gilfy scouting ahead too, trying to see if we're gaining on them or if there's anything, pitfalls that we're going to need to watch out for.
Okay, how far ahead are you sending Gilfy?
I think she's probably doing like circles ahead of us. So she'll fly, at most 10 minutes, 10-minute laps, staying just far enough ahead of us that at the very end of her lap, she's within 150 feet of me and then flies pretty much as far as she can for about 5 minutes and then heads back.
Okay.
Just so she can report in every 10 minutes or so.
I will say if everybody can give me a survival check. Okay. And then if Panoply and Gilfy can give me perception checks, so Gilfy will have advantage. Okay, so you had more successes than failures on the survival checks. You all are keeping pace, if not gaining, on the Warforged. At least you feel that way. On the second night, when you go to make camp, Gilfy does notice a fire off in the distance, probably about a half day's journey ahead of you. Panoply, you're doing a good job taking up the rear. You're pretty sure that there is nothing following you.
Still paranoid, because that's me. You can eat these instead of rations, I say that night. I hand around the mushrooms. If nobody's hurt. We'll each take 2, and there'll be 2 left over that I will pocket just in case.
Nom nom nom.
Okay, so after the second day, if I can have everybody making another survival check.
Look at that wizard. He's so talented.
Alright, you all make your normal route. You now are on the road itself. It looks like the Warforged have actually started to follow the road that leads up to Emnoth itself.
God, how far away is that?
Quite far. However, on the road, you come across a group of merchants that are heading in your direction down the road.
Does it look like anything's for sale, or is everything put away?
Do you approach them?
Yes.
I'm in the woods. I'm in the woods.
Yeah.
I mean, they
No.
they see us, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not like we're on the streets of New York where you ignore the person in front of you, behind you.
Right. They do have a couple guard. Well, they have about 4 guards with them. It just looks like 2 carts. So 2 carts and then 2 guards per cart. Looks like there is a small merchant group there. Their wares look like they are mostly covered up, but Arvin hails them.
Hill.
It is Arvin that approaches them, right?
I would approach with him.
Okay. In that case, I will have Arvin and Kime roll a persuasion check.
That's
So Arvin rolls 1,000,000.
1,000,000, yeah. Oh, good.
Okay, cool. This is fantastic.
Oh, cool.
So you all approach, and Arvin flags them down. Kime kind of does the same thing. At first, the guards are apprehensive as Kime comes across as your generic mercenary. How he dresses, how he presents himself. But Arvin's words do sort of calm the situation down. And after a little bit of hesitancy, they do tell you that they are indeed merchants. They are heading to Night Hollow and then eventually to Ralapa and then deeper into the Kaja Conclave for trade. And that they have sort of like your basic general goods store wares. So they have various potions with them. They have some magical items, armors, weapons, items like that.
Yeah, would I be able to check out what potions you have available? Anything that might be useful?
Absolutely. So they have the normal potions of healing with them. They do also have he mentions that he has 2 potions of resistance on him. One is a psychic resistance potion and one is a radiant resistance potion. They have 1 potion of speed on them, 1 potion of climbing, a potion of gaseous form. They have a set of adamantine plate armor, a spear of warning, a lance of +1, a net of warning, and a staff of the adder.
Well, out of curiosity, how much is that adamantium armor?
It is 2,000 gold pieces.
2,000 gold. Kime, you were looking for one of these, right?
Us?
Happen to have 2,000 gold on you?
I do not.
How's our party fund looking? Ooh, you know what? Actually, merchants are heading to Night Hollow. How long are you planning on staying there before you go further into the Kaja Conclave?
They say about a week.
Well, I don't know exactly how long it's going to be until we get back, presumably less than a week, but it is possible that we would have the money for that armor. So keep that in mind. How about those potions of speed and climbing? What are the price tags on those?
The potion of speed is 400 gold pieces, and the potion of climbing is 180.
I feel like one of those would be useful at some point or another, but that's a lot of gold for just a potion, right? I'm less familiar with how all the price stuff works.
How much is your potion of radiance? Or resistance to radiant damage?
They tell you 300 gold pieces.
You don't like me, huh? I can tell. You just don't like me.
What my friend means is that I'm just kidding. While we're looking at the wares, may I ask or persuade or make friends with someone and ask them if they have seen any Warforged along this path?
They look at you a little strange. Warforged. Not really familiar with those. We're not really from around here.
You've not had any dealings with the nation of Prospero?
To be honest, not really.
Interesting. Any other people coming by stop to talk with you?
Stopped? No, that was a group that was heading north. They seemed in a hurry, but they kept far away from the cart, so we decided to keep far away from them.
Were they wearing any sort of things that you'd be able to describe that we would know as like a patch of people from Wallach or Prospero?
They had blue cloaks.
Do we recognize
a-
that as...
They had a dog, I think. Maybe.
Is that familiar to us, guys? Is that Prospero people? Okay.
It could be. Then they have the. I don't think I'm there. I think it's just the two of you.
Yeah, it's just, I feel like if it is, that would not be great for us if they were already there. Okay, anyway. Kai, were you interested in making any purchases while we were here?
Interested? Yes. Can he afford it? Unfortunately.
Oh, sad day. God. I just wonder if one of those potions would be useful or worthwhile. Alright, well, if they're going to be at Night Hollow, we can go do shopping when we get back. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate your help. We're going to be on our way, and hopefully we'll see you in Night Hollow soon.
Absolutely, may the light be with you.
And with you as well. Alright, we'll continue to the north.
Alright, on your third night, you don't really feel like you've made up that much ground. On the next day, I'd like everybody to roll a survival check again.
Are we still sustaining ourselves with good berries?
Yeah. I mean, if we're not fighting a lot during the day, shoot, just generate them at night with a spell slot.
Cool.
Ooh, very good.
We're good on the road.
You'll notice that very abruptly, the Warforged take a hard western route off of the road.
Oh boy, that's like 90 degrees.
Yep, 91 to be exact. and it throws you off at first. But thanks to all of your high survival checks, you notice this. Takes you a couple minutes to verify that, like, is this really where they're going? And you start trudging through the mountains. Gilfy's still doing his sort of laps around.
Yes, she is.
All right, make a perception check for Gilfy.
He said west was mountains, forest, clearing.
So it is about here that they go hard west.
Oh wow, we've traveled pretty far. Ormwood. What does Gilfy see with her Gilfy eyes?
Everything.
Ah.
Sorry, just so Gilfy notices that the path you are taking is indeed a path through the mountains, and it is heading directly into Ormwood. Gilfy also notices at night that the fire that you've seen, that Gilfy has seen before, is not that far ahead of you all. Maybe like a quarter day's journey ahead of you.
And by day's journey, are we talking like 2 hours? Like a 1 8-hour trek, or
Yeah, about that.
well, I mean, if you guys want to keep going, maybe we can get a little bit closer tonight. I don't know, how are you guys feeling? I know we've been out here for a few days.
Really quick, the merchants did tell us that they saw some people heading north with a dog and wearing blue cloaks. Do we think those are people from the nation of Prospero looking after their Warforged? Or other people?
Did they get a good look at them? Were they real dogs, or we've seen like the Warforged dog things that they use sometimes.
Do you guys remember what was it? After the lab with Egreth, Renee?
Yeah.
Weren't there dogs there too?
Yeah.
That was a Warforged dog, though, right? Not a real dog. Am I
It was a real
remembering
dog.
that
bad.
correctly?
It was tracking our scent.
No.
I
DM,
think it was
did
at least.
we know that?
I mean, either way,
I think it was Gilfy that saw it.
should be the same result though.
You know that it was what they refer to as an Iron Defender, which is a construct that looks like a dog.
Okay.
So, if Prospero has sent people up ahead, what are some of the repercussions that could happen if they catch us investigating and not bringing things back? Is that something we need to be worried about?
We could also already be in a bad way with them because of the note Simon dropped.
Maybe. Maybe not.
They saw us.
Sauce what?
They were coming towards our camp. They had an owl like Gilfy. Do you remember?
That was such a long time ago.
I know, but Turxian sees what Gilfy sees, and surely they have someone similar.
Gilfy didn't notice another owl.
I mean, we were in Night Hollow for, what, another day or two? After we ran there and everything was okay.
Probably about a day, but we probably, because it seemed like they gave up tracking us and went to go explore the lab, so they probably could have arrived after we already left again.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, well, we're forewarned of the knowledge that they might be up here. We can continue on. Because we're not really doing anything that would go against what they wanted. We're
But,
just
I mean,
investigating.
do we want to push forward tonight and try and get up to this camp, go another few hours, or do you want to bank on catching them tomorrow during the day?
I say we should get as close as we can while we can. And this is Panoply's time to shine.
I mean, only for fighting. I'm not talking first.
Question:
You know, just
the
in the dark.
the tracks that we've been tracking, is it multiple Warforged footprints or is it mixed with human footprints?
It looks like 5 humanoid constructs and a quadrupedal construct.
Still the
Iron
same tracks
Striker.
though from the beginning. We didn't confuse it with another set. Let's say maybe the people that are in front of us.
You have not found another set of note.
Okay. And is it possible to go off path here, or is it pretty narrow and only one way to go?
You could go off path, but it would definitely slow your pace.
I don't know, guys. What do you think? Should we continue on and risk running into them? Hang back?
I don't think there's any risk. We kind of know where they're going to be. We can get a little closer.
I mean, if we're gonna fight, like, yeah, I'd rather it be dark.
We
But I
are
don't
still
know.
authorized to be investigating the Warforged. We could use that as a cover.
Yeah, and Turxian, what do you think? Like, you think Warforged would be any less receptive in the dark?
I have really no idea, to be honest.
Yeah, might as well then. Like,
Yeah.
time is of the essence. Why not?
All right, let's continue on then.
Alrighty. So you want to continue on another 2 hours?
So we can get at it
Get
closer
there,
to them.
get there tonight.
Yep, until it's time for us to take our rest.
I mean, we could rest now. It seems like we made about 2 hours on them today, based on what Gilfy saw. So, if we keep the pace tomorrow that we had today, maybe we could catch them by the end of the day tomorrow.
So we'd just be risking. Would we be risking exhaustion from our pace?
Yeah, I mean, we're risking tiring ourselves out, but we're also the benefit is
Time.
time. It's we either make up the 2 hours now while they're stopped, or we push ourselves harder tomorrow to try and make up those 2 hours. But then that's a whole nother day of us being away from Night Hollow.
It's also a day that if there is another group, they could do something.
Right? I mean, if we know where they are now and they're stopped, I think it's worth the risk.
I agree.
The more time we have near them, the more we can view and investigate and look and learn.
and talk.
And attempt to communicate. Okay, onward. To the west. 91 degrees.
Alrighty, I would like everybody to give me a survival check. Or not, sorry, not survival. Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. Is that check?
Under saves.
Ah, thank you.
Alright, Turxian, you're exhausted.
Okay.
Barely.
Barely.
And ability checks are at disadvantage.
Correct.
Okay.
You just drink some coffee.
Does that apply to Gilfy too?
No.
No. Gilfy is immune to exhaustion, basically. Gilfy's not real.
What?
Best imaginary friend ever.
Alright, so you all continue on for another 2 hours. I would like all of you to give me a stealth check now, which Turxian will be at disadvantage.
Hey, disadvantage buddies.
Sneaky, sneaky.
Those are some good rolls so far.
Fuck yeah.
Ooh, nice. Alright, so as a whole, you guys roll pretty well. You all creep up to what looks like a camp, essentially. See if I can get this. Tokens. There is a small fire in the woods, and around it are 5 humanoid-looking figures and a 4-legged thing.
Okay. Do we need to get Kym away from here for being stealthy?
Are we just observing or are we talking?
Observing for now. What clues do we see? Are they communicating with each other?
How close do you want to get?
This close.
It's like within 60 feet of the camp.
Is the light only around their
Um,
fire?
Yes.
I think we want to be more cautious to start with, just within sight range. Or we can please just do all the scouting. We'll just hide.
I mean, it's
You're
dark
good.
back
No,
there, right?
Go ahead. You're good.
It's dark, right? Just
Yeah,
put
but they're also constructs. I don't know if that makes a difference on them being able to detect you.
I consider that as I go to the side without the dog.
So you are moving forward.
A little bit.
Okay. I'll have you roll another stealth check. That previous one was like a group check.
I hear the secret dice rolling.
Okay. Seems that nothing noticed you.
Just crouch under this shrubbery and listen, watch.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Your dice are so dark.
Okay. You can't make out everything, but they are talking. And they are talking in a more human tone, even though it still has an edge of that animated construct like resonance behind it. But you've never really noticed the Warforged ever talk before. And you hear maybe mention of that we have to be going in the right direction. Something about like the pull is stronger here. Maybe like it's definitely close. Kind of a conversation like that. It definitely comes across as an awkward conversation, though, as if they don't fully comprehend how to communicate.
Like a group of panoplies.
Glad I'm off in the bushes over here, and I still hear Arvin whispering behind me. I sneak back to my party and report. This is what I heard. They're talking, but they kind of like yell at each other sometimes, and sometimes they're just not stringing together sentences very well. They say there's a pull that's stronger, and it must be near here, but I don't know what it is.
They didn't give any specifics about how far or where exactly, though.
Well, they think they're close. I don't know what it is, though.
Well, if we're close, maybe it would be worthwhile if we backed off a little bit, got a little bit of rest. Unless we can learn some more information from being sneaky here. I think it'd be better if we were all fully rested and prepared for what might come.
So do we don't want to talk to them tonight?
Do you want to just follow them all the way? That seems like it's creepier than just being,
Yeah, if we talk to them, who knows if they're gonna end up, what's gonna happen, and if they're gonna be hostile. They might not go to where they originally were going, and we wouldn't learn that information.
But they could also be super hostile if they catch us.
Or what if there's more there? What if it's like a base?
A base of convict, escape, Warforged,
I don't know. Like, I don't know what they're talking about. It could be like a
Warforged immigrants.
special bush. Like, who knows? What would they be looking for? I look at Charxian. Do you know?
I mean, I can try and have Gilfie go fly around and land in one of the trees and see if she can hear anything, but
Well, our options would be to try to communicate or to wait to find out where they're going.
I'm good either way.
I mean, I feel like we just, walked through the night to catch up to them. But if we're just gonna follow them for another day, what was the point?
I think it'd be better to talk to him now too. Like, we don't.
Did any of them seem like the leader, or is any one of them taking charge?
Not really.
Okay. Also, what are we talking to them about? What's the goal?
I mean, I was thinking we could just start with, letting them know that we're not friends of the nation of Prospero, but they're leaving very obvious tracks that we were able to follow them here, and we're trying to help them get to wherever they're going. Maybe they'll tell us.
You could tell him about Simon.
Yeah?
We can also tell them that we're the ones that caused this. They seem to be
Yeah.
more sentient.
Maybe. I don't know if I'd lead with that kind.
No, maybe not lead, but maybe if we're not getting anywhere, we could use that to maybe gain a little trust.
And worst
help
case
breathe.
scenario, we can use our last crystal to disable them.
Or to give to them as a bargaining chip.
Or they've
Turxian
already been disabled.
pats his bag. Kaim, actually, we have 2 left.
Could give them one. Like, hey, this does this to you. If you want it, you can have it. We won't use it on you.
No, we don't need to give them anything.
I would be hesitant of. They might see that as a threat if we pull it out in front of them.
Well, I'll just hang back in the woods and watch. I'm not good with new people. Or sometimes old people.
Yeah, I feel like as the talky guy, this responsibility probably should fall to me.
Do you want me to at least make an introduction? I can do it quietly so only one of them hears, and
I mean, yeah, I'm all about you doing everything, but if there's gonna be any roles for persuasion, I feel like that would be my expertise.
Kaim, you're gonna stay with me.
We're not with the nation of Prospero, here to help cover your tracks, find out where you're going, and
I like to think like
maybe
one of his orange silk pants pockets is full of like index cards where he writes cues.
I got a little foldable stand too.
All right, you two.
Okay, be within eye shot of us to be able to help when they start attacking me. Thank you.
I'm gonna hang back in the darkness with Penny.
And you're not gonna move.
I
You're
am
gonna
not
shift.
Okay,
moving.
what would be the best
Don't
way to
crack your nose.
approach? Obviously, hands up from the
That-
clearing.
Maybe
but before we go out there, why don't you let me, talk to one of them, let them know that we're here and we're not, we're coming in peace and we just want to talk.
No, I get that all. I'm just saying that if we're gonna go there immediately and there's like a persuasion roll, you're the one who's gonna be doing it.
maybe walk in mid-conversation so they think that you accidentally walked into them.
That sort of undermines the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Let
at
me-
least it kind of announces that you're there and they're not startled and surprised.
I could also holler from back here. Hello, Warforged.
Immediately away.
Should I do that? Oh, I got it. I'm gonna whistle. Okay, I got it. I got this. Okay, with a flourish. I got
Shit.
my orange clothes on. Got my cloak. Okay, we're whistling a jaunty tune, and we're going to come in from the south. Boom, and we are. Yeah.
We are dead.
Like 60 feet
Turxian
away.
sighs and just takes the copper wire that he had already out in his hand and just puts it back in his component pouch.
Okay. Hands are up. Not a threat. Do they notice I'm whistling? Can they see me?
You whistle?
Yeah.
Is it just like a loud whistle or?
No, John T. Tune. I'm whistling. I'm
Okay.
singing a tune. A Highway to Hell. That's what I'm singing.
So, at first, you overhear something like, "Has he heard that again? Just noises in your head." And then as you continue, the Iron Defender perks up and looks your way, and they realize it's not a noise in their head, and they all draw their weapons and look that direction.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Hands up in the air. Here in peace. Is there someone who I could talk to? A leader? Who speaks for all of you?
They kind of pull back a little. They still have their weapons drawn. Go. Who? Show yourself. Who? Why? Why are you approaching us?
I am a friend. I am here to help you.
We don't have friends.
Are you running from somebody?
Ye-
We believe that there are people chasing you, and we want to help.
How do you know about this?
We saw some people as we were traveling to the north that looked like they were hunting. We overheard them that they were looking for Warforged, and we were able to follow your tracks. We want to be able to hide those tracks from them for you.
For giggles, roll deception.
Sounds good.
Jesus.
They still peer through the darkness.
Have
It seems like they can.
lowering weapons a little bit.
A little bit. They seem pretty nervous. But who are you with?
We are not with anybody. Can you tell me where you are headed? Is something pulling you? Do you know where it's pulling you?
Is it just the two of you?
We have other friends to help as well.
How can we trust you? You. How can we trust you?
We are the ones who helped to free you back in Night Hollow.
Don't. Night Hollow. Don't.
Do you remember the
know.
time when you couldn't think and now you can?
Like, two of them just sort of sit down and like hold their heads.
I wonder if there's a way where I could ask if they're aware of any changes. Actually, Tirsian, if you have anything to say now, I think they seem a little ready not to kill us, so that's good.
Wherever you're going, you guys are leaving a very easy trail to follow. We're only trying to help. Like he said, we know that you guys were bound in some way, and you were recently freed. We're just trying to help you guys get out. But the way you're going about it now, you're making it very obvious and very easy for the people that are trying to find you, I mean, if we did, the people that do this professionally are gonna have a very easy time. Is there anything we can do to help? We just want to make sure that you guys can get away to safety.
Why would you want to help us? Why? You don't know what we are.
We
What
are not
we've
on the
been
same side as the people chasing you.
who's chasing us?
The nation of Prospero. That's why you're trying to leave their borders, isn't it? It's the way you seem you guys are going.
Don't Not exactly sure, but we know we have to go this way.
Would you be okay if we helped hide your trail and followed along where you were going?
We told not to trust those of flesh.
Who
Yeah.
told you that?
Not usually a bad idea.
The voices.
I mean, you were once a flesh too, were you not?
I don't know. It's cloudy.
Would it be okay at this point if we did what we could to hide their trails and just back off for now? I'm not sure there's any other information they can provide us. And they didn't kill us, which is good.
I mean, but we still don't know where they're going.
Well, I don't think they know. The only way we're going to find out is if we follow them.
You say you're told not to trust us. If we try and cover up your trail now and make it so that this camp is harder to be found, will you at least let us stay near and travel with you tomorrow? I don't know about you. I'm exhausted. It's late.
We're not trying to hide. You stay over there and we're not sure. The voice says not to trust those of flesh.
I think from our perspective, our main goal is for them not to get captured by Prospero. And all we need to do is find out where they're going. So we can back off. We can clear what we can clear. And it sounds like they're not hostile. We can just follow them when they move on.
Okay.
All right, let's walk back to Panoply and Kime and share with them what we discussed.
Panoply will see you guys going over and make way over to Kime.
Do you guys have anything to weigh in on the situation? Does that sound like a
Yeah,
avenue
but
to follow?
whoever keeps watch should keep one of those crystals, because if they don't trust those of flesh, there is at least one Warforged with that group tracking them, isn't there?
There's at least one Warforged doing what?
Didn't the
Probably.
merchants say there's a dog with a group tracking? Like one of those dog robots?
Oh, the Iron Defender.
I'm just thinking if they said not to trust flesh, if they trust one of their own kind and their kind belongs to Prospero, that would be a much bigger fight than we were hoping for.
Oh, you think they're all Warforged, but then the Iron Defender is not with the Warforged? Like secret
I'm
spy?
saying the Warforged that are with the nation of Prospero might try and convince them to come back, and they might be willing to go because they're not fleshy.
Gotcha.
Crazy thought here. Seeing that Pendley took a form of someone else before, would she be able to disguise herself as a Warforged?
What information are we trying to gain, though?
Trust.
I
Well, they-
think
I don't think hiding yourself.
if you're trying to gain trust, I don't think you should start by deceiving them.
Plus, I have trouble with my legs, and I don't think I can cover it with a skirt as a Warforged. My knees are in the wrong spot, and it's hard to make them look like your knees.
Can we? How far into the Ormwood are we?
Just at the outskirts.
Can we at least just clear some tracks for a little while and make camp and rest for now?
Yeah, why don't you guys set up and I'll.
Yeah. How far are we from where it took a hard left from the trail?
About 2 hours.
Okay, never mind.
Well, the hard left was somewhere in the day.
Okay.
So you guys are about like an hour into the forest and about an hour down from the mountain. So sort of 2 hours down from the mountains.
I mean, if we're able to break up the tracks for a decent length within the forest, that's going to do a lot for helping other people not be able to track.
It doesn't quite work like that.
No?
No.
Like, if the
This-
trail suddenly breaks off, then they're going to have to reconnect with it.
Do you see this? And I point like to an area they came in. There's like broken branches. Like you can't regrow that branch. You know what I mean? It's broken. You can take the end off. It's
Fair.
still broken on the end. Like there's just and like when it tramples, see how this like grass is pressed down? Like it doesn't pop back up.
We can't really do anything to help.
You can kind of obscure what you're following if there's like obvious footprints, but then they'll just know there's somebody else here. These guys have been too obvious. Like it's not. And they're not trying to hide. You heard them.
Alright,
All
then,
right.
let's just set up camp and keep our distance from them, but
We
still
Yeah,
watch
should
them.
hide.
I
We
agree.
should
I
hide.
don't think there's anything else that we can really learn from them directly. Unless we want to go kill them and take all their crystals.
We just have to see where they go.
That seems very
Yeah.
harsh.
Yeah, it does. Let's go take a nap.
Let's hide. Let's no fire. Let's I can
Okay.
take
If there's
first
anything we need to
watch.
clean up or clear, we can do that. We can, let Tyrexian sleep and we can do triple watch. Or trade off.
All right, so you're heading a little ways out of sight and taking a rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you can take the long rest thingy and remove your exhaustion.
I assume Gilfy can still hover and keep watch on him.
Yeah.
To see when they move out.
You'll wake up in the morning, and the Warforged have already moved on. But they're not too far ahead. You have Gylfie follow them, and now it's daylight and you can actually see proper colors. Notice that these 5 Warforged wear blue cloaks and try to hide them. Not hide, but hide their features as they move forward.
Oh, that's who the merchant saw.
Is there anything left behind at the camp?
Just a slightly smoldering fire. You do find scraps of paper.
We didn't notice them. Do they eat?
No.
Okay. Oil themselves up.
Is there anything on these pieces of paper?
Yep. There are names.
Kind will pick up the piece of paper and kind of hold it upside down, look around, see if you can recognize anything from the pieces of paper. Is it like torn up paper or?
Yes. But it's easy enough to piece them together. And it's 6 names that they have written various times. Misspellings that they've crossed out. And then finally, in bold letters, what you presume to be names. And those are the 6 names.
Oh, they all have names.
Interesting.
Even little doggo.
How far behind do you stay?
Panoply?
Panoply will.
I don't think we need to be super stealthy either. Like, we can just be a healthy distance behind.
I will continue to stay behind. Like, just cannot shake the feeling like this is going to be tracked at some point.
Yeah, Kime can lead us. I don't know. 50 yards, 100 yards back.
Okay.
And then Panoply can trail and look around and see if we're being trailed. Gylfie see anything else other than just us and the Warforged?
Have Gylfie make a perception check.
Or Panoply?
And Panoply.
Oh, I don't notice anything. I'm clueless.
Okay. So the first thing you notice is that an hour into following them, the Warforged pick up the pace. They are running. Not like they're fearful, but with purpose. I guess I'm gonna pause on this part. What do you guys do when you notice that they pick up the pace?
Think we would match their pace.
Panoply turns around after being suspicious and it's like, oh shit, they're getting away. It starts to run too.
Yeah, we're booking it with them.
Okay. It does not look like they are running from anything. But eventually they make it to a clearing that has pillars and ruins.
Oh no, is that what I think it is?
Oh boy.
We'll move you guys over
Is it a portal?
here.
Ooh, nothing like a portal. We love portals.
And as you catch up to them, all 5 of the Warforged are kneeling on this stonework with their palms on this old, ancient, marbled ruin, and the Iron Defender has its paw on it too and looks like it's sort of kneeling. And all 6 of them sort of dissipate into nothingness.
Whoa, what the fuck?
And it's at this point that Panoply, who had still been keeping an eye out, notices some very large creatures in the forest.
Oh no.
Not behind us, but in front of us.
That were at first keeping pace with the Warforged, and then now they notice you all. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
What? What? What are these things? What's the tie-in? I thought I had this all figured out.
Well,
Do
maybe you got
I-
shit running through woods. Might be good to eat.
Does Tarxian have any idea what this thing is? You make that kind of Arcana check or
The thing in the
anything?
middle?
Yeah.
Yeah, make an Arcana check.
Quick, we need to evade the monsters. Let's go on the portal, everybody.
Oh no.
I'm gonna dive in.
This is gonna freaking insta-crit me and
Portal
Oh,
death.
that teetered on the 3.
It very much looks like it is some sort of active teleportation circle. But from here, you're not sure how to activate it, and it was clearly just activated, and as it activated up, like the runes lit up, the swirling mist in the center looked like it rotated around, sort of like a tornado in the middle. And when it stopped, all 6 of the Warforged dissipated into nothingness. But you are positive that this is some kind of teleportation circle.
And do these creatures seem to have been drawn to the... just hunting them?
You're not entirely sure. 3 of the creatures just look like these big panthers with tusks. The other 2 look like bristled versions of them that have this chitinous armor on top of their fur and what looks to be some sort of glowing purple pulsating crystals in their skin.
Oh, good. More purple.
Well, it's bad.
All right. I'm excited.
Oh gosh.
Now I know what happened the session before, assuming we meet again within a week.
Yeah. I have Thursday off next week too. Same day. I don't know if that works for everybody or not.
We'll see.